The Betsiboka Estuary is located on the northwest side of Madagascar and it is the mouth of the Betsiboka River. The main problem is the deforestation caused by the ongoing logging of the mangrove trees. This decreases soil consumption and with heavy rainfall there, the red soils are washed into the river that feeds into the Bombetoka Bay going into the Masibaki Channel which is part of the Indian Ocean. The red soil is being washed into the river and intoxicating the water. It is affecting the wildlife and plants in the area. This is one of Madagascar's greatest environmental problems because this country economy relies on agriculture production and also depends on the river's life for food. For almost a century, the logging of Madagascar's rainforests and mangroves has completely cleared the land and has increased the rate of erosion. Red soils are spreading into the Masibaki Channel and soon will contaminate the whole Indian Ocean and maybe even more, making it impossible for life because of the iron in the soil. And if we don't stop this trend now, we will soon see that animals are going to start going extinct. This is the way of life. We humans take everything for ourselves. We think this is the way to survive, and we are not wrong, but we are also not right. We believe that all of our resources are unlimited, and we try to take them all for ourselves, killing the beautiful wildlife of our earth. And yes, these resources are helping us survive, for now. We keep trying to take these resources, but in the process of rushing to get them, we keep forgetting that some of these resources are limited. We are taking these resources a bit too fast for ourselves, which will not only lead to the extinction of the Indian Ocean life, but the extinction of trees, animals, and eventually humans.
For almost 100 years, the Betsiboka coastline has been eroding due to the continuous pattern of heavy rains. This has taken away land surface area that could be used for agriculture, an important part of the economy of Madagascar. In addition, deforestation has been unregulated, and with the heavy rainfall has made the change in the landscape of the coastline uncontrollable. In particular, disappearing mangroves has enhanced the effects of rainfall and soil erosion. This change in the environment has also caused a loss of biodiversity in the region. This loss impacts the ecosystem and the way people and other living organisms live and interact in this area. There are many issues impacted by the changing Betsiboka coastline. Because agriculture is an important part of the Madagascar economy, this loss of the Betsiboka coastline impacts the people who live there in terms of the food they are able to grow and sell. This therefore affects the way they make money, which directly changes their lifestyles. The loss of biodiversity can also influence what can grow in that area. In addition, the coastal waters are affected as erosion continues to push soil and sediment into the ocean. The government in Madagascar is trying to fix this problem by controlling deforestation through environmental programs and monitoring the building of a new industry in the region. These efforts have affected the people who live there since they now need to comply with government regulations.
Widespread flooding and a massive red sediment plume falling into the Betsiboka Estuary and the ocean was the wake of the tropical cyclone Gylo, which hit northern Madagascar on March 7th and 8th, 2004, which will make the river red and it will bleed into the ocean and thus kill all the fish. The scale of the conflict is regional because the widespread of the river is starting to enter the Indian Ocean and causing catastrophic effects with Africa, and is now becoming a regional event which could affect the economy of Africa. But we as a world are all connected, so if Africa is under economic struggle, it would affect the rest of the world. Since there has been an excessive amount of rainfall and erosion in the Betsiboka River causing it to turn red and bleeding into the ocean, which is clogging up and filling coastal waterways with sediments. Now ships carrying goods cannot go up the river but thus have to go further at the coast, which means lower consumption goods, which means lower growth rate of the economy.
After seeing the devastation caused by the deforestation in the area, the government has actually banned the cutting down of trees throughout Madagascar, but this is not stopping anything. People who are poor in the area need to put food on the table, therefore they still cut the mangroves down and sell the wood to China, as China has no trees. The government did state though that the only way to harvest and sell these trees was if they were already fallen. So groups such as the Tree Mafia are cutting these trees down and lying to the government, saying they had already fallen. The government is also working with NASA to get detailed satellite images and map out the river and its sediments. Due to the dying life in the river, many things are being affected. The rusting of the rocks and erosion is causing iron and silt to flow through the river, turning it red. The fish are getting this silt in their gills and are being poisoned. The rhinos, elephants, zebras, hyenas, and so on are being poisoned by drinking this water. The trees that once used to be home to birds, new turtles, and dugongs are no longer there. and the overall life in the river is going extinct. This is affecting the people who hunt in the river for fish, crabs, and sea life and sell it to the marketplace. A lot of the seafood marketplace in that area is now failing due to the iron-filled river. The loss of these species is also affecting not only the people who consume the wildlife, but also the government that is in a non-wealthy and very poor state. They are having to invest and fund projects to help against the dying river, even though they are financially struggling. The Malaysian government is pushing development of shrimp aquaculture, and the habitat type is being increasingly used by private business sector Mahajanga Aquaculture Development Project, a venture between Madagascar and the Japan International Cooperative Agency along the coastal region at the mouth of the estuary. These types of projects are pushing farther away the potential growth of new trees and are very controversial as they are moving away the protection of these lands, river, and the wildlife that lives.